In world news, passengers of missing submersible Titan confirmed dead. Meanwhile, police report launched over fake news on Taib's health. And tonight, the Rainforest World Music Festival kicks off. These are the headlines for tonight. I'm Razi Ahmad, and you're watching TVS Nightline. The debris found by a remote-operated vehicle near the Titanic wreck site was from the missing Titan sub, and its passengers are now believed to be dead. OceanGate, the company that operated the missing sub, released a statement saying it believes the passengers on board the Titanic expedition submersible have sadly been lost. Now, earlier on Thursday, Rear Admiral Mauger of the Coast Guard, a U.S. Coast Guard, confirmed that all 5 people aboard Titan had been killed following what was probably a catastrophic implosion based on patterns of debris discovered.
Members of a massive international search effort found a debris field in the general area of the Titanic earlier on Thursday, and it was confirmed to contain parts of the Titan sub. U.S. Coast Guard officials said in a press conference on Thursday that the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber.
The debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families. On behalf of the United States Coast Guard and the entire Unified Command, I offer my deepest condolences to the families. I can only imagine what this has been like for them, and I hope that this discovery provides some solace during this difficult.
The debris was found about 490 meters from the Titanic's bow on the seafloor, Mauger said, adding that it was too early to tell when the Titan imploded. It included a tail cone, the end bell of the pressure hull, and the aft end bell, which, according to officials, comprised the totality of the pressure vessel. The debris was found by a remotely operated vehicle associated with the Canadian vessel Horizon Arctic that reached the seafloor and began searching for the submersible early Thursday. According to the Coast Guard, ROVs will be used in a continued investigation of what happened. The 5 people believed to have perished were OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush, Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his son Suleiman Dawood, British adventurer Hamish Harding, and French deep-sea explorer and Titanic expert Paul-Henri Nargeolet.
Astana Negeri Sarawak officials lodged a police report earlier today over fake news regarding the health and well-being of the head of state, Tun Peantri Abdul Taib Mahmud, on various social media platforms. The governor's press secretary, Peter Sibon, said no specific names were given, as it is up to the police to conduct their investigation and take the necessary action.
According to Peter, the report was made following a WhatsApp message received from a colleague claiming that Taib was under an induced coma at the Sarawak General Hospital. Peter said the police will investigate the case under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998 for offences of using network facilities to transmit communication deemed to be offensive or could cause annoyance to another person. The section provides for up to 1 year in jail, a fine up to 50,000 ringgit or both upon conviction. Accompanying Peter to the police station was State Protocol Officer to the Governor, Hamka Muhammad, Chief Security Officer of the Astana, Zaim Kamaruzaman, and Administrative Officer of the Astana, Ratmawati Sabil. A statement issued by the Astana Negeri Sarawak yesterday said Taib is well and in good stead.
The 2023 Rainforest World Music Festival has begun tonight. The The annual Surakin Music Festival gathers artists and musicians from all corners of the globe. And for the details on what's been happening all night, Adlina Rahman and videographer Muhammad Rafiq is on location.
Thank you, Razi. I'm currently at the Sarawak Cultural Village for the first day of the Rainforest World Music Festival 2023, RWMF 2023. And according to my observation, people began to crowd this place as early as 3 p.m. today. And although it's 11 o'clock right now, we still have pretty good crowd and to enjoy the main performance for tonight from ZRV. And if you want to know, Razi, tonight I have a very special guest that I picked out from the crowd to interview to tell about their experiences for the first day of the RWMF 2023. Sam and David from the UK. Let us roll the clip.
My name's David. I'm from the UK.
And I'm Sam. I'm from London in the UK. Same here. It's my first time to Sarawak.
Yeah, I've been to Sarawak before, but I've never been to the festival. It exceeded expectations in every way. The music was incredible, absolutely amazing, and really fantastic.
But also, we're very impressed with the setup, the location. I'm really impressed. I would happily come back and see more, and I will do.
They've all been very good, and they've been very different. The girls singing now is exceptional, very good indeed. But they've all been very good in a different way. And the standard of musicianship has been superb, really good. Absolutely, 100%. Maybe not with him, but yes.
I agree with him. I would happily come back.
It shows that Malaysia can be fun.
And there you have it, Razi, the voices from the crowd. And for those who have yet to join us for tonight, don't worry, we still have 2 days left for the remaining of the Rainforest World Music Festival 2023 for this year. I am Adlina Rahman and VG Rafiq, Muhammad Rafiq for TVS.
Thank you, Adlina Rahman, for the very exciting and comprehensive coverage of the first day of RWMF 2023. Now, in other news, Malaysian textile empire Jackal Holdings Sdn Bhd is set to unveil 2 of its branches to Sarawak by 2024. Now, its group managing director, Dato Sri Muhammad Faros Mohamed Jackal, revealed that the 2 locations set were in Kuching and Miri. He added that the total investment capital needed to set up the 2 branches was estimated from 50 million ringgit to 100 million ringgit.
Kita mempunyai lebih kurang 23 cawangan di seluruh negara yang belum ada di Sarawak dan juga di Penang. Sabah kita ada. Dan kita juga akan membuka Ariani, gedung Ariani yang popular dengan scarf dengan selendang serta ready to wear. Dan juga kita akan membuka jacket kapet. Jacket kapet kita ada lebih kurang 30 cawangan satu Malaysia. So pelaburan yang kita akan laksanakan juga lebih kurang 50 hingga 100 juta ringgit untuk 2 cawangan.
He said this when met during a courtesy call to the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, at the Baitul Makmur building on Friday. Commenting further, he is confident with the development of Sarawak's economy to spur the sales of Jackal, at the same time expanding the network of his business to neighboring countries such as Brunei Darussalam.
Saya telah melawat beberapa tapak semalam dan kami dapati ada beberapa pilihan, tapi kita ingin mencari tapak yang lebih besar, iaitu dengan pembelian tanah ataupun bekerjasama dengan Kerajaan Negeri Sarawak dalam membina sebuah gedung bersepadu. 5 kita cadang ambil 5 hingga 700 pekerja baru lah untuk dua tempat di Sarawak. Yes. Dan pembukaan di Sarawak ini kita akan partner dengan local partner. Kita akan memberi peluang kepada partner di Sarawak untuk memiliki saham di negeri Sarawak dengan konsep franchise.
Currently, Jackal Holdings Sdn Bhd has 6,000 employees nationwide. Earlier, the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, received a courtesy visit from the Sarawak Artists Society (SAS) at his office in the Baitul Makmur building. The visit was intended to deliver a souvenir as a token of appreciation to the Sarawak government for funding the organization of the Art Camp in December 2022. The camp was held at Ana Rais and attended by 26 local and international artists. The presentation of the painting souvenir was carried out in the presence of Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Dato Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, and his Deputy Minister, Dato Sebastian Ting Chiu Yu. Also present were the Vice President of SAS, Sebastian Jong, and Gerald Goh, with artist Aloysius Ho and members of the SAS committee. Sarawak will not cancel any sporting events leading up to the 2024 Malaysian Para Games. The Sarawak Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Welfare Development, Dato Sri Fatimah Abdullah, said Para Sukma 2022 in Kuala Lumpur saw the cancellation of 2 events, namely swimming and weightlifting, following the withdrawal of athletes.
The cancellation of the 2 events, she said, indirectly caused the Para Sukma Sarawak contingent to lose a potential gold, leading to Sarawak's failure to defend the championship for the 14th time in the 2022 Games.
Now, this time, when we are a host, there is no such thing. It will be kalau dah register, dan ada orang yang tarik diri, it will still go on. Yeah? It's not fair for our athletes. 2 orang on juga.
Fatimah said this in an athlete honoring ceremony in conjunction with the 12th ASEAN Para Games, Cambodia, taking place in a hotel in Kuching earlier today. In the coming 2024 Para Sukma Games, scheduled to commence in September next year, Fatimah said Sarawak aims to win back the championship.
Coming up right after the break, Malaysia moves to take legal action against Meta Platforms Incorporated, and a Pakistani pilgrim walks 4,000 kilometers to reach Mecca. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. Back on TVS Nightline, Malaysia threatened to take legal action against Meta, accusing the tech company of failing to remove unsavory content from the social media app Facebook. The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission said the platform had been taken over by a significant volume of harmful posts on issues comprising race, royalty, religion, and many others.
The said organization did not specify the exact legal avenue it might pursue the company with. Meanwhile, the Communication Minister, Fahmi Fazil, supported the organization's statement in a tweet, saying that this was due to Meta's refusal to cooperate in taking down harmful content. Fahmi also said that another social app, Telegram, has agreed to work with the government in removing such content from their social sites. In a Muslim-majority Malaysia, discussions surrounding race, religion, and royalty are frequently considered sensitive subjects and are often regarded as taboo, whereas the country imposes strict penalties, including online content regulations, to address posts deemed inappropriate or unacceptable.
The Selangor State Legislative Assembly has been officially dissolved today to pave way for the state elections. The dissolution was in line with the announcement made by ruler's private secretary Muhammad Munir Bani last Monday after the matter was consented by Sultan of Selangor Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah. Now, earlier this morning, Selangor State Assembly Speaker Eng Su Lim submitted the notice of the dissolution of the State Assembly to the Selangor Election Commission EC Director Shafi Taib at the Bangunan Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah. Now, Selangor is one of the 6 states to hold their state elections after the 15th general election was held in November last year. Now, the other 5 states, namely Kelantan, which dissolved its state assembly yesterday, Negeri Sembilan, Penang, Kedah, and Terengganu. The government has yet to make a decision on the price of rice at this time, despite media reports today that there will be a price hike next month due to a shortage of supplies as a result of the El Niño phenomenon typically associated with hot weather. Now, in this regard, Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Minister Datuk Sri Salahuddin Ayub said his ministry is prepared to face any impact due to the heat wave, including the price of rice.
Kita tidak dapat lagi fakta itu secara tuntas ya. Saya baru membaca hari ini dan memang kita bersedia sebenarnya dalam menghadapi fenomena El Nino ini. Jadi sekarang ini saya dah minta pegawai supaya dapatkan maklumat daripada KP KM untuk kita dapatkan fakta dulu dan mungkin lewat petang ini fakta itu akan kita perolehi dan tetapi desas-desus yang mengatakan akan berlaku kenaikan di sana sini itu masih tidak lagi dan bukan lagi satu keputusan daripada pihak kerajaan. Tapi Kementerian KPDN dan KPKM akan bertukar-tukar nota pada hari ini. Secepat mungkin kita akan keluarkan satu kenyataan dalam tempoh segera.
He told reporters this after launching the Misi Ramah Ekonomi Sempadan Malaysia Brunei program at the Petronas Dagangan Berhad depot in Sepangga Bay on Friday. The program sees the supply of 150 tons of unsubsidized liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) from Malaysia to Brunei between June 16th and July 1st.
Katakan Misi Ramah Ekonomi Sempadan Malaysia antara Malaysia dan Brunei, iaitulah projek pembekalan LPG tidak bersubsidi ke negara Brunei Darussalam. Jadi jumlah yang kita akan hantar pada ketika ini adalah 150 tan metrik yang tidak bersubsidi.
Also present at the event was Brunei Deputy Energy Minister Datuk Seri Awang Matsatejo Sokyao, High Commissioner of Brunei to Malaysia, Brigadier General Datuk Mahmud Saidin, Petronas Dagangan Berhad Chief Operation Officer Khailil Jafri Muhammad Muri.
The decision on whether Malaysia will enter the endemic phase of COVID-19 will be made after the Ministry of Health presents a report on new recommendations and standard operating procedures to the Cabinet next week. Health Minister Dr. Zaliha Mustafa said the review of the new recommendations and SOP will take into account the World Health Organization's guidelines, the global COVID-19 situation, and the number of infections in the country.
According to Dr. Zaliha, Malaysia is currently in the transition to the endemic phase, which began on April 1st, 2022. Last May, the MOH announced that the status of local areas of infection would remain unchanged for the time being, even though the World Health Organization has declared that COVID-19 is no longer a public health emergency of international concern. Dr. Zaliha was reported to have said that the move was necessary to meet the need for quarantine or isolation of COVID-19 cases in places other than hospitals and the need for employers to bear the cost of treatment and testing for COVID-19 for their employees. Prior to this, the MOH had extended the declaration of local areas of infection from January 1st to June 30th. On the health SOP for the upcoming elections in 6 states, Dr. Zaliha said it would depend on the announcement of the transition status.
In light of recent events, companies have been urged to consider giving interns a reasonable allowance to cover their daily expenses while they are on their industrial training programs. A call made by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim. While Human Resources Minister V. Sivakumar assured that the ministry will look into the issue of allowances for students who undergo training. The issue, which has been circulated on social media recently, gathered mixed reactions from the public across all ages, posing the question on what's worth more, experience or wages. Here's what they have to say.
Kami setuju dengan apa yang dikeluarkan baru-baru tu yang pernah viral buat masa tu lah untuk internship yang adalah buruh kasar. Tapi actually kami sebagai intern, seorang budak intern, kami rasa after masa kami join sebuah syarikat, and then kami pola benda yang the same thing orang lain staff yang buat. So that is the first point lah yang di mana yang keperluan untuk kami orang dibayar gaji. And then the second thing is kami orang juga perlu untuk transportation ke tempat kerja, makan minum, even tempat tinggal pun kami orang still perlu. Betul. Tapi buat masa tu kita di era yang kita digitalization, macam kita perlu kehadapan. Yang previously memang kan orang rasa macam pengalaman is the benda yang paling penting lah daripada gaji. Tapi actually benda yang macam both sometimes company yang akan fikir macam kita student masuk is just untuk pengalaman. So sometimes dia yang ambil kesempatan bagi kerja, beri kerja. Tapi they actually kami orang pun deliverable untuk kerja is the same as macam staff-staff yang lain juga.
Setidaknya perlu dibayar secara layaknya lah. Sebab setidaknya full time sama dengan pekerjaan yang biasa. Setidaknya perlu tanggung untuk kos harian setidaknya. And then the intern tu pun setidaknya di bawah ada akta pekerja. Perlulah layak dibayar untuk itulah. Bagi kami yang setuju ya, mungkin kita tahu intern tu bukan adalah golongan yang agak senang ataupun mungkin ada golongan yang memerlukan untuk menanggunglah pembelanjaan seharian dan kos harian lah untuk golongan intern tu. So ia dapat sedikit banyak membantu kami lah dalam keulangan kami yang menghantar untuk report kuliah dan tempat majikan lah.
Yang penting adalah pengalaman di tempat bekerja lah. Actually the more orang bagi kerja, the more bagus. At least you know, bukan penginapan. Kalau contohlah, allowance kecil tapi staff you senior bagi more kerja. Actually bagus. So when you pergi the next place, you know how to do. Pelajar dia bukan seorang pekerja. So saya tidak setuju dengan pelajar sebagai buruh. That means if they gave majikan memberi allowance, that is enough, cukup untuk menampung perbelanjaan 300, 800, 500 is okay. Yeah. Because untuk majikan untuk meneruskan untuk memberi gaji kan, dia akan beri macam EPF, macam potongan etc. And then sida student tu short term je. So nya akan menyusahkan lagi semajikan tersebut. Yeah, yeah.
They're not permanent staff yet, so it's just more to gaining experience as a student lah before going into the working experience. But at the same time, looking at the condition right now, where everything is prices are getting higher, so maybe I do then maybe get some basic salary or like that.
On June 15th, a university student has taken a stand against the exploitation of interns, vowing to parade around her campus, sporting a bold placard that read, "Interns are not free labor." Rashifa, known on social media, gained attention as she voiced her frustration over underpaid and unpaid internships. Her concerns were amidst the run-up to her internship next semester. The post struck a chord with many who shared their harrowing internship tales in solidarity with Rashifa's cause.
Welcome back on TVS Nightline. A Pakistani backpacker walked over 4,000 kilometers to fulfill his dream of reaching Mecca on foot ahead of this year's Hajj. Now, Usman Arshad, who commenced his journey 6 months ago, has traversed Pakistan, Iran, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia, and has finally arrived at the Holy City.
I have always loved walking. I previously completed 1,270 kilometers on foot in Pakistan, which gave me a full confidence in myself that I am able to complete this journey. Of course, there were some obstacles, such as bad weather, blisters on my feet due to walking.
During his journey, Arshad faced many challenges, including his Iraqi visa being rejected, bad weather, and difficult sleeping arrangements, but he credits his positive outlook for getting him to his destination.
In the beginning, many people discouraged me, saying that I won't be able to make it. But I ignored all the negative feedback and carried on with my positive energy with me on the trip. My message to everyone is that if you want to do anything, just believe in yourself and always think positively, and God will help you complete any journey you want to take on. Every Muslim man wishes to come to Mecca, to God's home, and visit Prophet Muhammad's mosque once in their lifetime. And I had the same wish, but mine was to go to these two places on foot.
With a banner on his back reading Okara to Mecca for Hajj on foot, the 25-year-old student met with many people who he said encouraged him to carry on. Climate activists, including Greta Thunberg, have staged a protest in Paris to call on world leaders to stop financing their fossil fuel industry as they deploy giant dollar signs at Place de la République in central Paris with slogans that read, "Make polluters pay," "Zero fossil," and "Keep it in the ground."
We are all in this crisis together. We are not equally impacted. Countries like the Philippines will experience it a lot worse, but we all have to band together to demand for justice, to demand for no more fossil fuel finance, and to demand for debt cancellation, because that is what we need to ensure that communities and marginalized people across the world are able to access this finance and actually adapt, mitigate, and live in this climate crisis.
The protests happened on the second day of the new Global Financing Pact Summit, which began in the capital on Thursday. During the concluding panel of the summit on Friday morning, French President Emmanuel Macron announced that affluent nations have successfully concluded a long overdue commitment of $100 billion in climate finance to support developing countries. Additionally, they have established a dedicated fund to safeguard biodiversity and protect forests.
And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Razi Ahmad. Thank you for watching.